Hello and welcome back to Chunk Style Remix. I'm Bryce, and this video is going to be a little different. Only slightly though, I promise. My last Warhammer video, I asked you guys what you'd like me to paint next, and seeing as this gentleman was the only one to chime in, we went on and give it our best go with a Von Ryan Leaper. So shout out to this guy. So, as you know, thus far this channel has been covering my journey as a beginner painter in not only the Warhammer40k universe, but minis in general. And in keeping with the spirit of letting all the nitty-gritty of this learning experience hang out for everyone to see, I bring you this video, which I very much wanted to quit several times throughout. It took me about 4 days to paint this mini, simply because I was getting frustrated and I just kept putting it down. But even though it was taking a bit of an emotional toll on me, a bit dramatic, I'm aware, I still at least did what I feel was the most important thing, which was I saw it through to the end and I finished it, while learning many things along the way. So join me today as we go through my first attempt at painting a Von Ryan Leaper to add to my Tyrannid Swarm. So here we have our little Von Ryan Leaper. He's unprimed currently, and it is just a fantastic looking model. I was actually really excited to paint this. It's just so cool. They're super cool. So here they are in the package, and we're going to try to do a similar paint job to this, kinda. I mean, we're kind of just completely trying whatever here. We have no clue where we're going into this. We're going to prime them, and we are using this matte black primer. And then what we're going to do is something that I actually had a comment with a different video. We are going to use a matte white acrylic to dry brush it. And then we have these speed paints where it all goes wrong. I really did not know what I was doing. I didn't even end up using pallid bone because it ended up looking way too dark. We went and used a holy white instead. And this, oh, we'll get to you, familiar pink. Yeah, thumbs up. I'm all full of hope at that point. Here he is, all primed black, looking good. And I haven't dry brushed in, like, I think I tried dry brushing back in the day. I got a set of these dry brushes, and they're really nifty looking. But then my wife gave me this old makeup brush of hers that I could also use. And as you can see, they're the same thing. So, I mean, if you can't get your own dry brush set, I just got this one from Amazon. It was like 30 bucks. And as you'll see, it came with a whole bunch of them. But like, you could go to the dollar store and buy one of those cheap makeup brushes, and same effect. I mean, you saw it. It was the exact same brush. And I'm starting to think that I really need a new makeshift palette. So from the videos I've seen, you put a bunch on there, you wipe most of it off on a paper towel or what have you, and as soon as I start going to town on this, I feel like, is that too much? You know what? Honestly, I just give her, and actually, that looks pretty good after. Feeling optimistic. Doing with a purple swarm to do those chitinous plates. And I'm showing the pallid bone again. I'm not sure why, because I did not end up using pallid bone. I don't recall, at least. So we're just going simple first with some black on the little hooves and the tips of some of the spikes on the appendages. In reality, the whole reason I'm trying so many things with speed paints is just because I have a lot more speed paints than I do of acrylics. I bought one of those big, packs of speed paints that has like 50 different ones, and I only have a few other acrylics, so I'm trying to see what I can get out of them. Oh, they are really runny. So far, so good. Dry brushing the black primer with the white really makes a huge difference for how the speed paints show up on the bottle. Because I tried painting a Flesh Terror based black and just did speed paints over that for certain things, and yeah, you couldn't see anything. But I mean, I should have known that. I'm pretty sure it says so, or it says as much in the how to use speed paints manual that it comes with, but what can you do? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Here is where it all goes wrong. I have these two, and I decide, okay, I'm going to do one, then I'm going to do the other. But which one first? Pink or white? Should I do pink for like a pink undertone, and then white over it, and maybe the pink will stay in the recesses? I go with pink. This was a mistake. I should have went with white and maybe just used pink afterwards, just in the recesses. Or at the end of this, I should have used the white to just paint around certain areas of the flesh and leave some of the pink exposed in said areas. It becomes a whole thing. You know, maybe I should have just left it at this. Get like a rave Tyranid thing going on, because this isn't so bad. It's different. Now, this was after letting it dry a day, because I kind of had to go back and rethink things. And then as you can see here, just the one layer dries very patchy and everything. That's pretty much to be expected, but I wanted it to dry enough where I didn't accidentally, when I added the holy white, that it would reactivate the speed paint and then just smear it off. Immediately as I started using this, I was just like, oh no, this is it. The holy white is way more of a grayish white. The pink was really seeping through. And I think about halfway through going over all of the familiar pink with the holy white, I was pretty checked out. I'm a little less exact. I'm a little less precise. I'm just kind of getting really bogging down on myself, being like, oh God, man, what'd you do? Like, how are you going to fix this? And yeah, I was being a whole sad boy about it. But I did see it through and keep on going, and then after I put down this layer, I do end up coming back to it after putting it down for a day. Yeah, I really don't like how this looks when I was doing it. Even looking back now, I still don't like it. Before putting it down though for the day, I know I said that I did that, but before putting it down for the day, I did decide to go over the chitinous plates again with another layer of the swarm purple, just to kind of deepen it a bit, and that does turn out decent enough. All right, now it's time to put it down for the day. Come back with a fresh way of looking at things. So, new plan. I came back at this and I decided what I'm going to try to do is lighten up my little abomination of familiar pink speed paint covered by holy white speed paint, and lighten it up by trying to do a light dry brushing on top of the holy white. So we're going to go to this just Wraithbone, just the base Wraithbone from Citadel. And I have this dry brush from the Army Painter, small dry brush. I've never used one of these before, but we're going to give it a go. I found at first that I felt like I was not using enough paint at all. Like it wasn't even showing up. But then other times I felt like I was using a little too much. I was very imprecise with this, but I did start to feel after I was doing the second leg that maybe this would help salvage it, or at the very least, maybe salvage is a bit of a dire word for it, but it would at least make me feel better about it and not be such a
little sad boy about it.
I think I'm definitely going to my next one as well. Paint them individually, the pieces, and then put them together. But as you can see, the white, I think it really did help. It helped take away kind of that grayish ickiness. And I'm using the base Nagaroth Knight just to do a little bit extra. It's not really highlighting on the swarm purple. It was just kind of just in case. I was already in the mindset of I'm fixing this, so I just decided to keep going, do a little bit extra. And we're going to use this murder scene, which is just the coolest name. Oh, and I also totally forgot to paint this little rock he was standing on. But yeah, we're doing this, the speed paint back to it. And this is what the pinkish I probably should have left a little not covered by that original holy white. Just using a little bit to seep into these little like tears that are in the flesh, or it just like shows the little ripples underneath. And that was something that the speed paint actually worked really well for. A little too much on the eyes, though. You know, it's all right. It's okay. And I figured I wanted to, instead of just using the murder scene on that the maw, the tentacle mouth. I decided I probably should have lightened that up a bit too, and we went for the slaughter red for that, and to add some blood-like effects on the talons, which I thought would help kind of tie everything together too, so it's got a bit of a messy look. Yeah, get him nice and messy. He's been eating good. And yeah, here he is. And you may think, ah, man, that's not so bad and everything. Honest to God, it could have come out a lot worse. I am still not very happy with it, only because the process was really grating on me. I thought I could really feel how much I was screwing things up, and I was getting really frustrated with myself, and the process of this one was less fun, and I felt like I was kind of just fumbling the entire time. But I did learn a lot, and a lot of good came out of it, but the process itself was a little frustrating, and I kind of sound like a broken record at this point, but I still learned a lot, and it was important that I saw it through and didn't just give up halfway through and chuck it to the side, because I wouldn't have learned anything from that, and I would have felt even more down on myself. So, woohoo! That's a W. Well, my apologies if I came across as a bit of a Debbie Downer during all that. In all honesty, I just wanted to keep it transparent and showcase the reality of being a beginner in this, and also prove to myself that I am, in fact, my own worst critic. Who would have thought? And I always will be. I showed my wife the Leaper when it was all done. I sat next to her all melancholic-like and showed it to her, and she looked at me and said, "And what is wrong with it exactly?" That made me feel a bit better. Could I have stopped at any point and searched on YouTube, how do I fix my paint job? Where do I go from this? I'm using speed paints incorrectly. For the love of God, please help. Absolutely. But my stubbornness convinced me that that would not have been in the spirit of the channel. A lot of cope going on here. So I just muscled through it, and I learned a lot. And thank goodness that the Von Ryan Leapers come in packs of 3, so I have a few more to experiment on. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. On top of being a beginner painter, I am also getting back into wargaming in general, seeing as I haven't played in over 22 years, early 2000s 40k. So along with future painting videos, we're going to eventually have some learning to play videos, covering not just 40k, but Battletech, Frostgrave, A Billion Suns, Dragon Rampant, Kings of War, just all kinds of stuff. Anything I find interesting, which is a lot of things. If you're enjoying what I do here, then a like and a subscribe would be immensely appreciated, and I hope to see you around for the next video. Thank you all, take care of yourselves, and keep on painting. Take it easy.